Imagine a world where everything you thought you knew about the universe begins to unravel. Not slowly, not gradually, but in a sudden, almost violent confrontation with a truth too big to ignore. That world is not centuries ahead. It's not the stuff of distant science fiction. It is our world right now. Because Michio Kaku, the physicist who has often warned us that the cosmos hides secrets beyond our wildest comprehension, has just released new data about an interstellar object called 3I Atlas. And the revelations are so startling, so deeply unsettling, that they may redefine not only what we know about astronomy, but also our place within the vast unknown. For years, humanity has gazed at the stars with awe, convinced that the laws of physics we've deciphered on Earth would hold true everywhere. But every once in a while, the universe sends us a reminder, an unexpected visitor hurtling through our solar system, showing us that the cosmos is stranger, more alien than we could ever imagine. First, it was Oumuamua, a cigar-shaped enigma that zipped by in 2017, leaving scientists scrambling for answers. Then came 2I Borisov, a comet-like body that gave us only a fleeting glimpse before it was gone. And now, the third interstellar messenger has arrived, 3I Atlas. Its data is unlike anything we've ever recorded, and Michio Kaku is sounding the alarm, calling it not just a scientific anomaly but a cosmic warning. The story begins with speed, a speed so blistering that even the most seasoned astronomers were stunned. 3. Atlas isn't drifting lazily through our skies like a comet you might spot on a summer night. It is tearing across our solar system at a staggering 137,000 miles per hour. To put that in perspective, that's fast enough to circle the Earth more than 5 times in a single hour. Objects moving at such velocity don't belong to us. They aren't bound by the gravitational embrace of our sun. They come from somewhere else, some unfathomable distance beyond our cosmic neighborhood, and because of this speed, they don't stay long. Once they pass through, they are gone, forever. But speed is not the only unsettling factor. The chemical fingerprints of 3I Atlas have left scientists baffled. Comets within our solar system tend to follow predictable patterns. They carry water, ice, dust, and the frozen gases left over from the formation of our planetary family. But 3I Atlas is different. Its chemistry doesn't play by the rules. It carries unusually high levels of carbon dioxide, but is curiously low in water. On Earth, and even across the planets we've studied, water is abundant. It's the most universal ingredient of comets. Yet here was a traveler from another star system, flaunting a composition that seemed to mock our expectations. Michio Kaku pointed out that this discovery forces us to reconsider the very building blocks of worlds beyond our own. If their comets are built from different recipes, then their planets, their atmospheres, even their life, if it exists, might be beyond anything we've modeled. And then comes the truly haunting part. When scientists peered deeper into the structure of 3I Atlas, what they saw didn't just challenge their textbooks, it shook their confidence in the uniformity of the cosmos. The ratios of gases, the spectral readings, the very way it reflected sunlight suggested origins that did not align with natural processes as we know them. This doesn't mean 3I Atlas is artificial. It doesn't prove it is the work of intelligence beyond Earth. But it does raise questions no one is comfortable asking out loud. What if our assumptions about natural formation are incomplete? What if, just maybe, this object is more than just rock and ice? Kaku himself has hinted that while the scientific community must be cautious, we cannot dismiss the possibility that interstellar visitors like Oumuamua and 3I Atlas are more than random debris. What if these are breadcrumbs left behind by civilizations long gone, artifacts traveling the void for eons before stumbling into our awareness? Or worse, what if they are deliberate, objects sent out intentionally, probes from another place, testing the waters of alien star systems the way we've already begun dreaming of sending crafts to Proxima Centauri? The data doesn't give us neat answers. It gives us something far more dangerous: uncertainty. The discovery was made by the Atlas telescope in Chile, a facility designed to catch transient objects. Atlas stands for Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System. Its job is to warn us of potential dangers, of rocks from space that might collide with our fragile planet. But instead of a threat lurking in Earth's orbit, Atlas spotted something bigger, a messenger from the deep. And as more observatories trained their instruments on it, the mystery deepened. The deeper scientists dug into its composition, the further they strayed from familiar ground. To grasp the gravity of this, you have to understand what's at stake. The laws of physics aren't just abstract equations, they're our survival guide. We launch spacecraft, predict planetary motion, and even define time itself based on the assumption that the universe behaves consistently. But 3I Atlas is a living contradiction. Its chemistry suggests that planetary systems elsewhere may not follow the same recipes as ours. Imagine for a moment, if the essential building blocks differ, then entire star systems could give rise to planets utterly alien, atmospheres poisonous by our standards, or environments rich in compounds we've never dreamed of. This isn't just about science fiction, it's about survival. Because if the universe is stranger than we thought, then any encounter with another civilization, or even another world, could be far more dangerous than we ever prepared for. Michio Kaku has long spoken of the coming cosmic awakening, the moment when humanity realizes we are not alone, and that our assumptions about the universe have been far too narrow. He sees in 3I Atlas a piece of that awakening, a whisper from the stars telling us that we've barely scratched the surface of reality. But he also warns of the terror embedded in that message. What if the universe is not welcoming? What if it is indifferent, even hostile? Objects like 3I Atlas remind us that we are not in control. We are passengers in a cosmic ocean whose waves we barely understand. Now let us step back and ask the most unsettling question of all. Why now? Why within the span of just a few years have we suddenly detected 3 interstellar visitors after having seen none for all of human history? Some will argue it's simply better technology, that telescopes like Atlas are finally sensitive enough to catch what's always been happening. But others, including thinkers like Kaku, suggest another possibility. Something is changing. Perhaps the density of interstellar debris near our system is increasing. Perhaps events far away, stellar collisions, supernovae, or the destruction of planetary systems, are sending more messengers our way. And if that's true, then these objects are not just curiosities. They are omens, warnings carried across light years of space, announcing that something bigger is unfolding in the galaxy. Consider this. The unusual chemistry of 3I Atlas may point to the death of its parent system. If it was ejected from a star system undergoing cataclysmic change, then the strange balance of carbon dioxide and water might reflect worlds boiled dry, planets stripped of oceans, atmospheres shredded by radiation. What if 3I Atlas is the shard of a world that once harbored seas, perhaps even life, now reduced to fragments drifting between stars? If that's true, then this object is more than rock. It's the ghost of an alien system, a tombstone sailing silently past us. And yet there's another theory, one even more terrifying. Some researchers whisper that the peculiar chemistry, combined with the precise trajectory, could suggest design. A probe disguised as a natural object would be the perfect way to slip past the defenses of a young, unsuspecting species. We wouldn't recognize it as artificial. We'd log it as just another comet, watch it pass, and never realize that it was studying us in return. Could 3I Atlas be exactly that? Could Michio Kaku's unease stem not just from what we've discovered, but from what we cannot yet measure, the hidden signatures of intent? Even the mainstream scientific community is uneasy. Astronomers know how to classify asteroids, comets, and even exoplanets. But when it comes to interstellar visitors, the rules break down. Each one has been unique, refusing to fit the categories we try to place them in. First, Oumuamua, with its bizarre cigar shape and non-gravitational acceleration, then Borisov, resembling a comet but with strange dust properties, and now 3I Atlas, flaunting an alien chemistry. 3 visitors, 3 anomalies, each rewriting the rules as soon as they appear. Coincidence? Or are we glimpsing the edge of a pattern too vast to comprehend? Michio Kaku is not one to throw around fear lightly. He speaks often of humanity becoming a Type 1 civilization, a planetary species harnessing the energy of its world. But he knows that before we can grow, we must survive the cosmic gauntlet. And objects like 3I Atlas remind us that survival is not guaranteed. These are not just stones in the void. They are messages. They are the universe itself, speaking to us in a language of mystery and terror. But perhaps the most chilling part of Michio Kaku's warning is not about what 3i Atlas is, but about what it represents. For thousands of years, humanity has believed the stars to be distant, untouchable, and irrelevant to our daily lives. They were lights in the night sky, background scenery to our dramas here on Earth. Yet now the stars are speaking back. Not in words, not in radio signals, but in physical messengers, objects that carry within them the fingerprints of alien worlds. 3i Atlas is a letter written in a language of chemistry, momentum, and silence. And as we read it, line by line, the letter seems to tell us, you are not as safe as you think. Michio Kaku frames this discovery within a broader context. He reminds us that Earth has been struck before. Entire epochs have been rewritten by cosmic impacts. The asteroid that ended the age of dinosaurs, for example, was not particularly large compared to the objects now catalogued in the outer solar system. If 3i Atlas, or something like it, were to wander closer to our planet, its enormous velocity would make it exponentially more destructive. Even a relatively small fragment, moving at 137,000 miles per hour, would carry more energy than the combined arsenals of every nation on Earth. It would be extinction on a scale beyond comprehension. So when we say visitor, we must also remember, visitors do not always come in peace. Some come carrying annihilation. Yet what unnerves scientists even more than its potential danger is its defiance of natural law. Take the composition again, the excess of carbon dioxide, the lack of water. If comets are the frozen leftovers of planetary birth, then what kind of worlds give rise to such comets? Perhaps they are planets where water is rare and carbon compounds dominate. Perhaps oceans are a myth, and instead entire surfaces are covered with deserts of frozen carbon dioxide. Imagine an alien world where rivers are not of water but of liquid methane or CO2, where the very chemistry of life, if it exists, would be unlike anything we know. To hold 3i Atlas in our telescopes is, in a sense, to peer through a window into such worlds. But there is another dimension, one that moves beyond geology and chemistry. Suppose for a moment that intelligent civilizations evolve within such alien chemistries. Suppose their life does not depend on water, as ours does. Their biology would be incomprehensible to us, their senses tuned to elements and energies we cannot even detect. And if such beings were to send probes across the galaxy, wouldn't they look exactly like the objects we now dismiss as comets? After all, what better disguise than to appear as a lump of rock and ice? Our telescopes would record them, our scientists would puzzle over them, and all the while they might be gathering data on us, quietly, invisibly. Michio Kaku has speculated before about the future of civilizations. He invokes the Kardashev scale, which measures the advancement of societies by their ability to harness energy. Humanity, he says, is not even fully a Type 1 civilization yet. We are still fragile, still bound to the whims of nature. But if we survive long enough, we might become a Type 2, harnessing the energy of stars, or even a Type 3, spanning the galaxy itself. What if 3i Atlas is a relic from such a civilization? What if it carries within it traces of technology or construction far beyond us, hidden beneath layers of chemistry we cannot yet interpret? The thought is terrifying because it places us not at the center of discovery, but at the mercy of entities so advanced we would appear to them as insects do to us. But what if the truth is even darker? Consider this scenario. Perhaps 3i Atlas is not a deliberate probe, not a messenger from an advanced society, but rather the wreckage of one. Imagine a civilization that grew mighty, that spread across its star system, only to be destroyed by some cosmic catastrophe. Their planets shattered, their resources consumed, their skies filled with the debris of once great cities. Over eons, that debris drifted into interstellar space. Some of it perhaps was engineered to last, to travel endlessly, carrying faint signatures of its makers. And now, one of those relics has brushed past us. We might not recognize it for what it is, just as a Stone Age tribe might not recognize a satellite that falls from the sky. But the message would still be there. Civilizations are fragile, even among the stars. This possibility resonates with Kaku's larger philosophy, that the universe is both beautiful and ruthless. Stars are born and die, planets form and are destroyed. Life emerges and is extinguished. Nothing is permanent. If 3i Atlas carries the ashes of a dead civilization, then its arrival is a warning of what awaits us if we fail to transcend our own limitations. It is as if the cosmos is whispering, "Look upon this fragment and see your own potential fate." And yet, for all the terror, there is wonder. Think about it. 3i Atlas has traveled across distances so vast our minds can scarcely grasp them. It has drifted for millions, perhaps billions of years, crossing the empty gulfs between stars, surviving cosmic radiation, gravitational pulls, and collisions with other debris. To reach us at all is a miracle of probability. Out of all the possible trajectories, it has intersected with ours, offering us a fleeting glimpse before vanishing back into the darkness. In that moment, we are witnesses to something extraordinary, a direct connection to the wider galaxy. For centuries, we've dreamed of touching the stars, but sometimes the stars come to us. Still, Michio Kaku insists we must not be lulled into complacency by the romance of it all. He stresses that our instruments must improve, our vigilance must grow sharper. Each new interstellar visitor might carry knowledge or danger. The fact that 3i Atlas defies our models should not be dismissed as a mere curiosity. It should be treated as a wake-up call. Our universe is not only stranger than we imagine, it is stranger than we can imagine. To survive in such a cosmos, we must be prepared to confront the unknown, no matter how terrifying it may be. Now consider the timing again. Why, after billions of years of isolation, are we suddenly encountering these interstellar objects in quick succession? 3 in just a handful of years. Could it be coincidence? Perhaps. But patterns whisper of deeper truths. Some astronomers speculate that our solar system might be moving through a denser region of interstellar space, a cosmic cloud filled with fragments of distant systems. If so, then 3i Atlas may be only the beginning. More visitors may be on their way, each carrying its own riddles, each forcing us to rewrite what we thought was true. The sky, once serene and predictable, may soon teem with messengers of chaos. Michio Kaku warns that we must also consider the philosophical implications. If planetary systems vary so drastically in their compositions, then the dream of finding Earth-like worlds may be naive. The search for life has been guided by the principle of follow the water. But what if life does not always need water? What if, on some alien world, carbon dioxide or methane serves as the solvent of biology? What if intelligence has already arisen in such environments, intelligence so different from ours that we might not even recognize it? 3i Atlas cracks open that door, hinting that the diversity of worlds is far beyond our narrow imagination. This is where the terror deepens, because if life can arise in such alien chemistries, then the galaxy may not be empty at all. It may be teeming with life, life that has had billions of years more than us to evolve, adapt, and spread. And if such life exists, then encounters are not a matter of if, but when. In that sense, 3i Atlas is a herald. Its presence foreshadows a coming age when we will no longer wonder about extraterrestrial life. We will confront it, and when that day comes, the advantage will not be ours. So what do we do with this knowledge? Michio Kaku calls for humility. We must recognize that our place in the cosmos is not privileged, not central, not secure. We are fragile, clinging to a pale blue dot in a universe vast beyond comprehension. Yet we are also capable of wonder, of discovery, of reaching out. Perhaps 3i Atlas is not only a warning, but also an invitation to push further, to expand our science, to prepare ourselves for a universe that will not wait for us to catch up. The danger lies not in the object itself, but in our refusal to learn from it. Think again of the metaphor of the letter. 3i Atlas is a message written in the language of alien chemistry, carried across the gulf of stars. We may not understand all of its words, but we can sense its tone. It is both a lament and a challenge, both a reminder of death and a call to awaken. Kaku's voice trembles not with fear, but with urgency, urging us to listen before it is too late. The universe has spoken. The question is, will we answer? But what if the real prophecy hidden in 3i Atlas is not about the object itself, but about what comes after? Every great event in history has its forerunners, signs that only later are recognized for what they were. The fall of empires, the birth of revolutions, the spread of plagues, all of them were preceded by subtle signals ignored by those living through them. Could 3i Atlas be one such sign? Could its sudden intrusion into our solar system mark the beginning of a larger pattern, a wave of interstellar phenomena about to wash over us? Michio Kaku warns that dismissing such possibilities is the greatest danger of all, because ignorance is comfort, and comfort blinds us. Think about the progression we've already witnessed. Oumuamua, an object so strange that even mainstream scientists entertained the idea of it being artificial. Then Borisov, a comet, but not quite like any comet we knew. And now Atlas, bearing alien chemistry that mocks our planetary assumptions. 3 messengers, each arriving with less time between them, each shattering our models more thoroughly than the last. If this were a novel, you would see the pattern emerging, the tension building toward a climax. And yet this is not fiction, this is our reality. Some astrophysicists are beginning to suggest that we are approaching a cosmic convergence, a period in which interstellar objects will become a common occurrence. Perhaps this has always been the case, and only now do we have the eyes to see them. But what if not? What if our solar system has entered a corridor of the galaxy thick with the remnants of other worlds? That would mean we are about to be inundated, not just with stones and ice, but with the secrets of dead civilizations, with relics of cosmic catastrophes, with the very ashes of alien life. And in that storm of messengers, one might not pass us harmlessly by. One might strike. Kaku's words echo the deep fear of astronomers who remember our planet's violent past. Earth is scarred with craters, each one a reminder of how fragile our species truly is. We survived by chance, not by strength. The dinosaurs did not. If an object the size of 3i Atlas, or even a fraction of it, ever crossed paths with Earth, our civilization would vanish in an instant. Cities would be erased, oceans would boil, skies would darken. It would not be the end of the world, but it would be the end of us. And so every interstellar visitor is both a marvel and a threat, a gift and a curse wrapped in the same silent package. But perhaps survival is not the only question. Perhaps 3i Atlas is pressing upon us something deeper, the question of whether we are ready to join the larger story of the galaxy. For millennia, we have lived in isolation, imagining ourselves the center of creation. Now, piece by piece, the veil is being torn away. Each visitor tells us we are part of a wider drama. And yet, as Kaku warns, we are unprepared. We have barely mapped our own solar system. We are only beginning to send probes beyond Pluto. Our radio signals have barely brushed the edges of the local star cluster. In cosmic terms, we are children playing with fire. And 3i Atlas is the first spark of a bonfire we cannot yet see. There are some who whisper of another possibility, that the objects are not random at all but chosen. What if Oumuamua, Borisov, and Atlas were not accidents of trajectory but deliberate steps? A sequence of tests, each more revealing, each more intrusive. First a shape that defied expectations, then a comet that challenged our definitions, now a chemistry that mocks our assumptions. If this is deliberate, then whoever sends them is teaching us, slowly, methodically, expanding our horizons until we are forced to admit the truth. And when that moment comes, when we finally accept that we are not alone, what will happen? Will it be revelation or reckoning? Michio Kaku does not claim certainty, but his warnings are clear. He reminds us that every great discovery in history has carried with it both wonder and terror. Fire warmed our homes, but burned our villages. Electricity illuminated our nights, but brought new weapons of destruction. Nuclear energy promised limitless power but delivered Hiroshima. Knowledge is never neutral, it is always double-edged, and so too with 3i Atlas. Its data expands our understanding of planetary systems, but it also hints at dangers we cannot yet name. To gaze at it is to glimpse the future, a future of contact, of conflict, of survival, tested against the abyss. And here lies the most haunting truth of all. The universe does not care about us. It does not favor us. It does not promise us safety. It is vast, indifferent, and merciless. If life exists elsewhere, it too must struggle against this indifference. Perhaps other civilizations have already fallen to the same forces we fear: asteroids, radiation, stellar collapse. Perhaps the galaxy is littered with ruins, each one a silent monument to a species that thought itself eternal. 3. Atlas may be one such monument. Its alien chemistry may not be the signature of thriving worlds, but of dead ones, consumed and scattered across the void. And if that is true, then it is not only a warning, it is a prophecy of our own fate if we fail to act. But there is another way to see it. Prophecy is not only doom, it is also a call to awaken. Kaku urges humanity to see 3i Atlas not as a threat, but as an opportunity. An opportunity to expand our vigilance, to unite our species in the pursuit of survival, to finally embrace the reality that we are part of a galactic story far larger than ourselves. The terrifying truth is also a liberating one. We are no longer children gazing up at the stars. We are participants in their mysteries. And if we dare to rise, if we invest in exploration, in science, in protection against cosmic threats, then perhaps we will live to see not just messengers passing us by, but journeys of our own, outward, into the unknown. Still, the fear lingers, because every prophecy has two sides: the path of awakening and the path of destruction. Which we choose depends on whether we listen. Atlas will pass us by. It will fade into the black, joining the countless fragments that wander the galaxy unseen. But its message will remain, etched in data, in spectral lines, in the words of scientists like Michio Kaku, who dare to sound the alarm. And perhaps, centuries from now, when humanity stands on alien soil beneath the light of another sun, we will look back on this moment as the first true turning point. The moment when we realized that the universe was not quiet, not uniform, not safe, but alive with strangeness, alive with danger, alive with possibility. And so the prophecy of 3i Atlas is this: the universe has noticed us. It is beginning to open its gates, not with a shout, but with whispers carried on frozen messengers. Whether we answer with fear or with courage is the decision that will define our future. But make no mistake, there is no going back to ignorance. The age of isolation is over. The stars are moving closer, and with them, the destiny of humankind.